Well, this is our lap book of where the red fern grows. We made this after reading the story. My girls really enjoyed reading the story quite a bit. We found some different pictures of a hound and a raccoon and the fern that were things that were in the story. With the raccoon, I found this, and I just took a piece of cardstock and made a tail and put a piece of Velcro on it so that it would keep the cover closed because it kept popping open. On the inside, the girls, we did a little booklet, comparison booklet on both the dogs, little Anne and old Dan, and they listed some of the traits of the dogs, and then things that were the same with both of the dogs. We also looked up the author of the book, Wilson Rawls, and on readwritedraw.com are little mini books that you can type up and just print out, and then they can complete the work on the inside. For example, I typed in like, where was I born, places I lived, important things about the author that we would want to know. We also studied about the Ozarks, the Ozark Mountains, so I came up with an idea of making a little mountain shaped book to go with that because it was kind of fitting, and they put some information in there about the Ozark Mountains. There was also some vocabulary words. There was a website online that had activities for the story, and so basically I just copied those words out of there. There is also a book, like a literature guide, that you can purchase too. We kind of did this after the fact, so we weren't able to do that, but a friend of mine did loan us what she had for the story, and we used some of the papers after we actually completed this lap book, but we added it to the lap book. We picked out some words that we would see in the story that they wouldn't normally see every day. We also, here's some little character. The one lap book I saw online had them doing character cards, but the cards kept falling out. So I just kind of chose a little pop-up book like this, a little shaped book. And I googled the characters and we glued them on the front. Okay, thank you. Okay, and then on the back, this is the back of our lap book. This is a double-sided lap book. So if you turn it around, we talked about some of the character qualities of the story, because there were some character qualities that you could pick up while reading the story about the character himself. Some of these little mini books I found on homeschoolshare.com when I googled character qualities. We talked about diligence, working hard, meeting God halfway. That was sort of our Bible study in a way, about talking about not expecting God to do everything for you, that you have to do some things yourself too. This was from Homeschool Share up here, and this little 4-piece book talked about jobs that required diligence. We talked about love, some of the things that happened in the story that required love, and the diligence hammer. This again was from Homeschool Share. Maturity is another thing that is brought up in the book as the character grows. He learns different things as he grows up, and it helps him become the man that he is in the end of the story. This was just a Googled image, and I just cut this out for maturity because I wasn't sure what to use. We talked about character traits, things that we could work on. These little cards here are actually from notebook.com, I believe, or notebooking.com, and we talked about different things that they could work on as well. Okay, also, since it's a double-sided notebook, we also have in the middle of the we also added things in the middle of the book that we worked on that we just wouldn't fit in a lap book, but we wanted to keep. And this was from the Guide to Where the Red Fern Grows, the book that my friend had loaned to me. And this had a different thing about this particular page had writing sin cane poems and finding where the Ozarks were, so we kept that. And then this was online somewhere, and I don't even remember where I found it, but it was a sort of like a book report type paper, and it talks about the different parts of the story, main character, discovery, climax, falling in action, all these different things, and we decided that would go well with it too. We're still kind of working on some of the pages that came from the literature guide that my friend had given me, so we're kind of still adding to it. This Lapbook could probably be bigger, but it was kind of done at the spur of a moment type thing. Not after we read it, we kind of wanted to do a Lapbook on it. So I kind of had to find and think of things to do with it, since there aren't any really ideas on older Lapbooks for older children. I can find tons and tons of them online for the younger kids, but this was a start, and I think we'll keep adding to it, which is one of the beauties of making these Lapbooks. You don't always necessarily get done. They're not always completely done some of the times, that you can keep adding to them even when you do get them finished. I hope you enjoyed.